Nearing the business end of the Prinx Tires USL Cup as Lexington SC welcomes Indy 11 for tonight's match, presented by Kimi, Kentucky's leading provider of workers' comp insurance with more than 20,000 policyholders in all 120 Kentucky counties. To learn more about Kimi, talk to your insurance agent or visit Kimi.com. Kimi is making workers' comp work. We're happy to have you with us this evening on ESPN Plus alongside Chris Nurse. I'm Joe Malfa. In Group 4, the picture is simple. Lexington wins both their remaining games starting tonight. They win the group. For Indy, it's a bit murky. They have to hope they can get to 8 points and then hope for a lot of help elsewhere to attain a wild card spot. And Chris, if Lexington is going to do it, they need Marcus Epps to step up.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Lexington have a game in hand, so if they do win those 2 games, they'll put themselves in a great position to advance. Epps has been the guy they go to when it comes to goal scoring or creating opportunities. Has 3 goals himself, 6 assists. So he's able to take chances, but he's also able to create for his opponents. It's going to be very important that he takes his chances in front of goal tonight.
Speaking of goals, on the other end for Indy, Bruno Rendon, the all-time leading scorer in this competition.
Yeah, so far Rendon has 90 games played, 20 goals. So you wouldn't really say he's prolific. His goal ratio is a little less than 1 in 4 games. But in this tournament, he has 11 goals. So this is a game or a tournament that he feels really confident about, and it brings out the best in him because it's going to be interesting to see if he pulls out a top performance tonight.
Now, these 2 teams met just a few weeks ago, back on May 23rd, a 3-1 win for Indy. So Lexington looking for revenge and looking for an all-important 3 points, hoping to top Group 4 in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. It's next on ESPN Plus.
Lexington, start your engines. It's match day. Genesis of Lexington is proud to partner with Lexington Sporting Club, delivering craftsmanship, performance, and premium experience on and off the field. From kickoff to final whistle, we're investing back in the community that fuels this club. Ready to make your next move? Step into class and experience luxury evolve at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington. Drive the difference.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise,
Malloy.
the energy. 90 minutes where nothing else matters.
Into the box, Firmino! Sizzles the strings.
The year of the horse, our year.
Oh, what a save by Sedley!
Be there when it happens.
It takes dozens of muscles to pinch your fingertips, countless neurons firing right on cue. But when a car accident left Allison paralyzed, it took a rare procedure by a UK healthcare expert to restore those lost motor skills so she could care for herself again, and for others too. It may look like an ordinary bracelet, but Allison knows ordinary is extraordinary. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Lexington Sporting Club isn't just a team, it's your club. That's why you need the LSC credit and debit cards only from Commonwealth Credit Union. With your LSC card, you get exclusive discounts on tickets, merch, and get to celebrate your club with every swipe or tap. Show your Lexington Sporting Club pride and gear up with the ultimate fan accessory only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Tonight's Prinx Tires match is brought to you by Embassy Suites. Players out there on the field just about set to kick things off. Lexington SC and Indy 11 for the second time in 4 weeks. Big 3 points on the line in Group 4 of the Prinx Tires USL Cup as we meet the starting lineups for both these teams. Representative strong 11s for both. Both sides have something to play for. And here's the group for Lexington.
Yeah, looking at the formation, anticipating that Lexington will play in a 4-2-3-1, which could become a 4-3-3 when in the position of the ball with Epps and Adedokan pushing a little bit higher to support Rodriguez, which is important because he's going to be up against a back 4, so he'll be isolated if they don't get up in to support him. On the other hand, I think Indy are going to be playing a 4-4-2, which in itself gives the advantage to Lexington in the midfield. Lexington will have those 3 midfielders up against Omar and Okello in the midfield, but everybody else will be man for man across the rest of the park. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they use that midfield advantage to dominate the game.
Indy still can get to 8 points. It could give them a chance at a wild card. Sean McCauley didn't mince words, though, in our conversation this week. He knows it's a long shot, but they're still going to put their best foot forward. They're still going to look to get to 8 points. And what they can do is put pressure on other teams. This is their 4th and final game in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. They're one of the teams that falls idle on the last match day, so they could put the pressure on the other teams to have to win. Well, McHemi and Lexington control destiny. They win both their games in regulation. No ifs, ands, or buts. They are winning Group 4 and going through to the quarterfinals. Take a look at tonight's Toyota keys to the match. What do you got for us, Chris?
Keys to the game. So for Lexington, keep the clean sheet alive. They've conceded a few too many goals so far this season. While they've scored 17, I believe, in regular season play, they've conceded 15. So they want to get that margin a little bit stronger, able to win games by keeping a clean sheet and building their confidence and strength going forward. For Indy, Lexington have a game in hand. For Indy, 3 points is a must to keep their hopes of advancing to the next stage alive. So really a lot to play for. And given in the last matchup, Indy won this 3-1, this is going to be almost like a revenge game more so than a cup competition. There's a little bit of revenge. Both teams need the points to secure the opportunity to continue to advance to the next phase. So expect to see a lot of tenacity, a lot of energy, a lot of ferocity in tonight's matchup.
And away we go from Lexington, the home side, left to right in the black and green, Indy right to left in the red. With Chris Nurse, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us this evening on ESPN+. Quick start right off the kickoff for Lexington. And Okun down in the corner. Sergei Demianchuk, the referee in blue, centering your picture. Malloy, captain of this Lexington side, leading scorer this year with 4 goals in the regular season. He's not necessarily a goal scorer, but he sneaks up out of the midfield and threatens often. Expectation is for Lexington to control this one, set the tempo, control the ball, and it all goes through Malloy. Springing one wide, first miscue.
I think, Joe, as tuned in as we are in tonight's matchup, I think it'd be a disservice not to give a little mention to what's going on in the World Cup. Sean McCauley, a strong Scotland fan. I'm glad we caught up with him earlier in the week and we didn't get to talk to him this morning after the result that they had yesterday.
Yeah, didn't really make a friend of you, the Englishman to my right.
And he said that he was brought up well. Support Scotland or support the team that's playing against England. I said that's enough with the questions for there. Thanks.
So Sean McCauley this coming week, big fans of Ghana and Panama.
But the US have done very well. They've been very impressive so far. I think everybody's been impressed with the US. See how far we go, huh?
Valiant effort from Haiti last night as well against Brazil. They fell 3-0. Better team in the second half. 3 players in USL Championship on that Haitian side. There's Ron Barry. Early ball in, looking for Rendon.
And I think that's something that maybe isn't discussed enough, is that the World Cup being here and the US doing so well, the impact and inspiration that it provides for these players that are on the pitch tonight. I know for sure if I was still out there and I'm watching the US and the World Cup's going on, your mind is just a little bit more tuned into what you're doing. You feel a little bit more inspired. You feel a little bit more focused because you're dreaming now that one day that could be you out there on the world stage playing in the World Cup and representing your country. So, you know, I think it also has a responsibility, or it has a role in elevating the mindset, the level of play, the intensity for everybody involved in the sport, whether you're in the World Cup teams or whether you're playing a USL League One or USL Championship or Prinx Cup.
Even just seeing around the grounds here and elsewhere in USL, fans wearing their national team jersey to the games. Fever is caught on. Rodriguez left briefly on loan this season for a couple of months over to One Knoxville. Got his scoring going there, 5 goals, 2 assists in 12 games, and then returned to Lexington. Player in much better form. Malloy. Just waiting for Detroit City and Louisville City to go final. They're in the shootout right now. Louisville leads 4-3. They're heading into the 5th round of spot kicks. Detroit City must make it to continue, then Louisville will have a chance to win it. Those two teams here in Group 4. A clearer picture of what this game tonight means once that one goes final. Both teams picking up a point. And it looks like Detroit City missed their 5th kick, so Louisville City will pick up the bonus point and end the night on 8 points. So that means Lexington would still be able to control the outcome here in Group 4. You'd have to get into the possible tiebreakers of it all.
Joe, and my expectations for Lexington, and I think maybe you could say it's harsh because money doesn't buy you championships. You need time, you need cohesion, you need experience to be able to do that. But they have set a standard of extremely high ambitions with the infrastructure, with the signings that they've made over the course of the summer. You know, you brought in Epps, you brought in Malloy, some of the most experienced and influential players throughout the league. That sets a tone of your expectation is that you want to win trophies, you want to compete for #1, you want to be the best team in your league. And so far, their performances have been a little bit underwhelming this season. We spoke about, you know, key to the game. Can they keep a clean sheet? They've scored 17 goals, USL Championship, conceded 15, only +2 goal differential. And we know that the top teams are able to win games 1-0, keep clean sheets, and be dominant over their opponents. And it's one of the traits that Louisville City have had over the years in the USL Championship is their ability to keep clean sheets and be dominant. So it's the next phase for them. But I do feel like with the investment that they've made in players and infrastructure and signings, that they should be competing up there with the likes of Tampa and with Louisville City and with your Charlestons and the likes of those teams. And they haven't quite hit the ground running, despite making some very, very good signings over the course of the summer.
It felt like they've been waking up as of late, Lexington, but not fully where they envision being. Kemi confident this thing is turning around and heading in the right direction, and to the average onlooker, it does appear that way. Results, performances, all on the uptick for Lexington.
And as we mentioned, this group is wide open. Lexington do have a game in hand, but both of these teams currently sit on 5 points. 3 points for either of them would put them up the top of the table, tied with Louisville on 8 points. Lexington would still have the additional game in hand, but essentially they're both still in contention to advance to the next stage here. So there's a lot at stake in this game, and for players who have a mindset of wanting to win trophies, wanting to compete, wanting to be #1, this is the opportunity where you get to do that, where you're in a stage where this game matters in terms of where you advance to the next stage. If there was nothing to play from, both teams are up, okay, you may approach it with a different mindset, but it's still so much to play for.
You can watch the USL on ESPN2 June 24th as Championship Western Conference rivals clash in a weekday battle for valuable points. Colorado Springs Switchbacks take on top of the table San Antonio. That's Wednesday, June 24th this coming week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. San Antonio might not be in first when the night ends, though. Later tonight on CBS Sports Network, Orange County and Vegas take the field. If Orange County wins, they will head into the new week in first place in the West. All the way back for Jermaine Brown and now Oliver Semle. So with Louisville's shootout victory over Detroit City, they sit in first on 8 points. If Lexington were to win tonight, they'd also be on 8 points. Those two teams meet on the final day of Prinx Tires Cup group play, July 11th, head-to-head. Remember, with the nature of this tournament, where the bonus point goes to the winner of the shootout after a tie, there is no way they could end up tied, Lexington and Louisville, if Lexington wins today. If they both go into that game on 8 points, there will be a winner of the group produced from the result of that game. It's if Lexington only picks up 2 points today or 1 point today, then you get into some tiebreaker scenarios in that head-to-head between Louisville and Lexington. But that's still a long way off from now.
Yeah, and I like it that the game ends in PKs because it means that at some point throughout the course of the game, as you can see, it starts a little cagey, a little bit sparring, but at some point you've got to go after that goal and you've got to leave yourself open, which makes the dynamics of the game change. There's no way you can just play for a tie and I wouldn't say boringly, because there's really good games that don't have goals that are still good games. But to excite the fans, you know the fans like goals. So there's going to be goals in the games, and no team ideally wants the game to go to penalties unless you're inferior, you're getting beaten all over the park, and you know that that's the only way you're going to stay in the game. So having that means that the game at some point has to become extremely offensive, where both teams are going toe-to-toe and trying to create goal-scoring chances and go ahead, rather than being a little bit more cautious and sitting back and maybe defending and playing for the tie. I think it brings out a new dynamic in how the players approach the game. Probably more so as you get into the second half and the clock starts to tick down.
Lexington, it would behoove them to play for the win tonight. As I mentioned, there's a way that the two teams can end up tied on points when you go to tiebreakers. The first tiebreaker is wins in group play. To the end line, Rodriguez cutting it in front, dangerous. Punched away by Charles Cook. Kept alive by Green. Jacob Green and line, too much. So there's a way both teams end up tied on points. Most likely would be on 9 points if Lexington were to lose this game, or rather win this game in a shootout and then lose to Louisville in a shootout. It's a possibility.
We saw twice in a very short time here the wingers for Lexington driving down the line, trying to get to the bar line and cut the ball back on 2 occasions. Is that where they feel like the weakness is against Indy? It's going to be interesting if they continue to approach the offense from that standpoint, if that was just a moment, but we saw it pretty frequently in their past 2 attacks. I think it's interesting context that psychologically Indy have the upper hand over Lexington in their previous matchups. I think Indy have not lost to Lexington. There's been a win for Indy, 3-1 the previous, and there was a tie before. So psychologically, Indy have the upper hand. Lexington has been yet to beat Indy in their short existence.
Malloy looking through. Firmino, heavy touch. It falls kindly for Bertilio Rodriguez. He was offside. But Lexington, the last couple of minutes, starting to show some jump in the attack. Finishing that point in the tiebreakers. For the wild card, it's goals scored. So the whole point of that is to incentivize goal scoring in this tournament. For the group winner, it's head-to-head, and then it's total wins in group play. There's no way, mathematically, that Lexington and Louisville can end up tied on points without Louisville having the first tiebreaker. So Lexington have to win tonight, and then it's whoever ends up victorious, be it in 90 or be it in penalties on the 11th, that would win the group between Lexington and Louisville. But that's if Lexington holds up their end of the bargain tonight.
I think one of the key players that Indy have to make sure they pay attention to is Malloy. He does such a good job of linking the defense to the attack. As you see, sometimes he drops in between the 2 centre-backs and almost becomes like a back 3, then he joins back into the middle. So he goes into places and spaces that makes it very hard to pick up. As you can see, when he gets the ball, it always looks like he has time and space because his positioning is so good. So he's a player they're going to have to pay very close attention to. And as good as he is linking up the defense to the midfield, he also has a way of finding himself on the score sheet and assisting the attackers. So very good midfielder, very good acquisition that we spoke about this summer, and I think a statement signing of the ambitions of the organization.
Heavy possession edge right now Lexington's way. It's the expectation coming in tonight where these two teams play. Mohamed Omar, outlet. Rendon lays it off. The overlap from O'Brien, fed in front and cleared away. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest product specials and more. Select, the player's choice.
I think it's important to mention that while Lexington have never beaten Indy so far, they're coming into this game looking for their 4th victory. They've got 3 victories on the bounce, which is a turnaround in their form. As we mentioned, they've been a little bit lackluster, but they have started to pick up a little bit of form lately, a little bit more chemistry and cohesion coming into the team. Some additional staff members, as we noticed. Jordan Stewart found his way onto the staff here. We think is going to be a significant value add for them going forward. So definitely some positive changes going around, but of course we're in a results business, and that's the only thing that matters at the end of it is the points and the standings and the trophies come the end of the season.
Dylan Singh on the turn. Singh lays it off. Jordan Stewart let go by Monterey Bay a few weeks back. They've since turned it up. Alex Cabello, the former San Jose Earthquakes man and time he spent in Barcelona's system over in Spain, have voted well for Monterey Bay. The new coach bounced and they look a different side. But it's mutually beneficial, perhaps. Jordan Stewart's come here in an assistant role under Matt Hemme. I don't know if it's because of him per se, chicken or the egg type of thing, but his addition to the staff, whether it's a fresh voice, whether it's coincidence, has coincided with Lexington's uptick.
Yeah, I think that one thing you could definitely pick up on from Jordan Stewart, that he is a player's coach or a player's manager, has very good rapport with the players, able to get the best out of players, connects with them extremely well. And that's something that you, as a head coach, it can sometimes be hard because sometimes you have to draw a stern line and the actual success comes from the strength of your team. You may be the one that has to be stern, but the assistant coach is the one that's able to be a little bit close with them, put an arm around them, listen to their concerns. Whether they're right or wrong, it's important that the players are heard, and then be able to take that feedback back to the head coach and make valuable adjustments. I think that's where he may be able to have an impact on this dynamic, is really being that connector between the players and the staff in an authentic manner.
Firmino. For Green. Malloy pointing to switch it. He does, but pass off target, difficult for Zengi to deal with. Players have been slipping. Saw the pitch wanted before the match. It's been an issue through nearly a quarter of an hour, and again, on the back end, Arturo Ordonez goes down.
And I'll double down it. People may think I'm being harsh on Lexington, but when you look at the bench that they have and the players available off the bench, one of the keys to teams who are successful over the course of the year in the numerous cup competitions, in the playoffs, in the regular season, is the depth in their roster. And it was something Sean McCauley referenced on the call, where he may feels that he needs reinforcements in terms of the depth in his roster to be able to go really deep and compete as the season goes on, because as we have more games, as the heat turns up, injuries happen, fatigue happens, you need to be able to have the flexibility to rotate players. I feel like this Lexington team does have some significant depth. You're looking at Blessing, who's on the bench today, who would start in most teams in the league, but they have a fortunate opportunity where they can have him on the bench and coming into the game, which is it's a great option to have coming in. So I think they're positioned from a...
Adenokin floats one through. It's a great ball from Malloy. Better first touch from Adenokin, but not the service he needed.
In their position from a structural standpoint to compete with the best teams in the league.
Adenokin once again loves to take players on. Couple of scissors. Adenokin, his weaker foot, mishits it. Long run to keep it in play, but well done. They continue the possession through Jermaine Brown. Demley. Malloy. Jermaine Brown, the 25-year-old from Jamaica. 29 caps for Jamaica. Malloy. Adenokin has options in the box. Adenokin working on Mikel Rashid, lays it off. Head to the area, Blaine Ferry right at Reece Charles Cook. Rare starting goal for Reece Charles Cook, only his 5th for Indy since joining.
It's a great effort from Ferry there. The first touch set everything up. Whenever you see a player set themselves up with a touch as good as that, you know normally the next strike is going to be pretty impressive. He didn't let down. It wasn't far away at all, but well-positioned goalkeeper able to make it look fairly straightforward, but great strike there from Ferry from distance.
A wicked left foot for Blaine Ferry, 25-year-old former U.S. Youth International. They signed him out of nowhere last year, Lexington. He had fallen through the cracks. He had failed a trial elsewhere. He needed a team, needed an opportunity. And then got in touch with Lexington, came in for another 25-day contract, impressed, looked like his old self, and has basically been a starter ever since then.
And I think sometimes players need that arm around their shoulder. They need somebody to give them a second chance. They need somebody to believe in them. Because as you spoke about, former youth national team player clearly has the quality and caliber.
Played across from Okello. Rendon settling, blocked. Firmino fouled by Rendon. Haven't called his name much yet, Rendon.
As you spoke about, his goal ratio, 90 games, 20 goals. He's not essentially prolific, but in this tournament, he does have 11 goals, which is up there amongst the most. So, sometimes psychologically, some tournaments, some games, they bring out the best in you. I'm sure this is a occasion that he always feels up for, because he knows he's had that level of success previously in terms of scoring goals.
And a yellow card on the way for Logan Neidlinger. Yellow card brought to you by Hicks and Fumpson.
Pretty unnecessary yellow card. I think he'd be frustrated himself. There wasn't any real danger. There was no need to get yourself in the book in that situation. Now he has to be very careful for the remainder of the game. And we spoke about the best attacks so far from Lexington have been coming down this left-hand side of the field, where they've driven down, got to the byline, and tried to play the cutbacks.
It's about as textbook as it gets. No real argument from Neidlinger. He did make a face at the end of it, but he can only act so surprised when that's the challenge you put in.
Great individual skill there from Epps.
Firmino. to Epps. Epps brought down. This time it's O'Brien who gets caught lunging in. He is causing a lot of chaos down that left side, to your point, Chris.
And there's a couple of moments of great individual skill here from Epps. Tucks it in, quick feet, gets in behind, draws the free kick. A lot of the attacks have come down the left-hand side for Lexington in the first half of this game.
Surprised if Malloy has a go at goal from here. The quality he's shown on dead ball situations. Malloy does bend it toward that back post, and it's punched away by Reese Charles Cook.
Great effort there from Malloy. You see he winds this one up, tries to bend it into the far corner. It's dipping under the crossbar, does well to get it around the wall. Ends up being safely pushed away in the end from Cook.
Long throw from Javane Brown. Flicked on. Went for the spectacular on Edoken. If he scored from there, forget it. Goal of the century in USL. A bicycle kick from outside the 18 through traffic.
Ambitious, to say the least, there from Edoken.
One-way traffic it's been in this one so far. 70% of the possession still going Lexington's way. A couple of shots, both on target to show for it. Here's Charles Cook. It's held strong. Curled in again and sent packing. 11 caps for Grenada. Reese Charles Cook in goal. This came in 2024. Zemley is back playing in the state of Kentucky. 2023 with Louisville. And he went on to Philadelphia Union. Had some time in MLS. Last year, late season on loan to North Carolina. Was their goalkeeper into the playoff run. Kean Williams deflected. Zemley just clears, avoids conceding the corner. Whether you're headed to the next match or your next road trip, step into class and experience luxury performance at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington, proud part of Don Franklin Auto Group and proud partner of LSC. Sean McCauley looking on. Kid knows it's an uphill battle for his side. The nature of this tournament this year, an extra group was added because of expansion teams. So it kept the quarterfinal at 8 teams, as of course that's what you need to make a quarterfinal, but it took 1 spot away from the wild card. Last year it was 6 group winners and 2 wild cards. This year 7 group winners and 1 wild card. So with that in mind, last year if you got to 8 points, you felt pretty decent about fancying one of those wild card spots. This year though, with 1 wild card, the number's probably going to be 9. Williams earns a corner for Indy. The best they could do is get to 8 tonight. There is a pathway to a wild card on 8 points. It's incredibly difficult. It's maybe a 0.02% chance, but it is a chance, and that's why Sean McCauley has not gone ahead and rotated the roster entirely tonight, knowing there is still a chance getting his group out there, just about his top group.
Yeah, and I think keeping continuity in the roster is important for continuation in upkeep in the league. Changing the players and resting them for too long, you lose momentum, you lose confidence, you lose a little bit of fitness. So getting them out there, continuing to play, continuing to build positive momentum, chemistry and cohesion with each other on a match day is very important. I'm not in agreement that we should generally overhaul a roster for cup competitions, whether you're in or out of competition. It's still an opportunity for the team to continue to work together and improve. But as we spoke about, the depth of the roster that he has, if you have a deep roster, maybe you can do that. If you do not have such a deep roster, maybe you're looking a little bit more about preserving bodies and trying to keep players fresh and healthy throughout the duration of the year.
Well, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Brown, Green, Epps. Further along to Firmino. He'll move up the left side dish from Lexington until it wasn't. Maybe one blade of grass if That all between the ball and the sideline. Assistant referee spotted it. Firmino didn't really argue. Nonchalance in that moment ended what seemed to be a promising attack.
If you're looking at a significant area of strength recently for Lexington, you would say their goal-scoring form has been pretty strong. In their past 4 games, they've scored 10 goals. That's pretty impressive, 10 goals in 4 games. This Indy 11 defense, on the other hand, it's not an easy defense to score. They've only conceded 12 goals so far this season, which is not bad at all. So it's going to be interesting to see the battle of, which seems to be a rich streak of form for Lexington and a fairly stingy defense for Indiana.
Blasted through. Semlai took his hands away from it. Well read by the keeper off the foot of Rendon, who's rotated out to the right side often in this game instead of camping out centrally as the 9. A little bit of a wrinkle adjusting here, Indy.
Yeah, not sure if he goes for goal here, maybe trying to catch the keeper off guard and go for the far post or deliver across. I think it ends up somewhere in between and doesn't quite end up being very efficient from the wide area.
Over the top to Firmino. Sneaky with his runs out of the midfield. It's part of what makes Lexington, when they're clicking, so dangerous. You have a player like Firmino in the 10, a player like Malloy as the 8 in the midfield. Both have just such a knack for knowing when to make that run out of the midfield, join the attack in the box. All of a sudden, you lose track of an Epps or an Inoku or a Rodriguez because you're tracking those runs or you never track those runs. And the other guys, there's so many bodies that Lexington can throw at you. Problem is, Chris, we haven't seen them clicking as often as they would like.
Yeah, and as we spoke about Lexington having the advantage in the midfield, we're playing 3 in the middle against Indy's 2. You find that Malloy finds little pockets of space, or one of the 2 strikers has to come back and drop onto Malloy, which then gives the other defender the opportunity to drive forward with the ball under no pressure. So various
dangerous ball in here. They're defending from Paco Craig. Wearing the captain's armband tonight. Rendon can go. Feeds it in behind. Foot race against Green. Rendon gets there as help on the far side. It's Rendon ranging ahead. That touch took him too far wide. Can he recover? Rendon cutting in. Rendon had it blocked. Contact there. Demianchuk has a good eye of it. Lexington gets away scot-free.
Great counter-attack there from Indy. I think Rendon just ran out of a little bit of energy there as he burst into the box and just didn't quite get the shot off as successfully. Like I also thought his touch, he took it a little bit wider than he needed to rather than trying to cut inside and bend it across the goalkeeper. But you see the danger on the counter-attack. Rendon has the pace to stretch and get in behind this Lexington defense when the ball is played at the right time into space.
Rodriguez, Ferry, loops one in. Adedokun was finding a way in behind. Ball didn't find him.
Ferry himself, we spoke about the shot that he had earlier in the game. He's been in a rich streak of form. Was named to USL Team of the Week. Been one of the most consistent performers so far for Lexington this season. Can link the midfield from the defense, ability to arrive into the box, get shots. Here's Rendon. You see this touch here, takes him a little bit further away from goal, and then here he's run out of gas. Ends up being good defensive block in the end. But you can see the threat is there on the counter-attack. If they can find him into space behind the defense, he could get his 12th goal in this competition.
His success goes back to 2024, the inaugural edition of the USL Cup. At the time, it was sort of a trial. It was only confined to USL League One, playing for Northern Colorado Hailstorm at the time. He scored 9 goals in 8 games as they lifted the trophy in the competition. Last year was the first year that it expanded to feature the Championship and League One. This year he scored for Indy in the competition. A couple of goals this year. So through it all, through 3 years, 11 goals, leading goal scorer, and a one-time champion of USL Cup.
I think something we haven't mentioned yet is how lovely this stadium is. Their short time, as we mentioned, they've invested heavily in some beautiful facilities and infrastructure.
I'm seeing a lot of new facilities pop up around the USL. Not just the championship, also in League One. Greenville Triumph debuted their new stadium a few weeks ago. They have another home game tonight. The list goes on and on. If you haven't seen an Athletic Club Boise game yet, do yourself a favor and find one of their home games and tune in. Great facility, great atmosphere in Boise, Idaho. Just simply put, I mean, no disrespect, if you told anybody 10 years ago there'd be a professional team in Boise and it would sell out every game and be one of the best environments, they would have laughed you off and said, all right, what else you got for me? That's the truth.
Watching favors the brave, but I think you also have to give credit to the ambitiousness of the ownership group.
Full credit to them. It's been awesome to see, and again, in this day and age with the USL Premier on the way, and beyond that, the announcement of promotion relegation, it pays to be ambitious. Lexington started in League One, and after a year, moved up to the championship. And we head into our hydration break in this first half. What do you make of this so far, Chris? These two teams have really gone to form. Indy sitting back, countering, Lexington controlling the possession, but neither side with a goal to show for it yet.
I think Indy are comfortable not having possession. They know where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are. So I think that them not having possession isn't necessarily the worst thing. I think that they find a way to stay in the game. Lexington have been defending from Lexington in, but showing that threat, ability to break in behind at speed.
You can enter the Prinx Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen to enter today. Kemi bringing his group over. Same for Sean McCauley. And these hydration breaks that have become a topic of conversation with the World Cup ongoing, they act as opportunities for coaches to tweak things, to adjust, and we've seen games change after these breaks.
Yeah, I think in the summer it's 100% necessary. The heat is so strong and intense, especially kickoff around these times. Yes, it's starting to get down, but it's still so hot even right now. So I think just allowing the players to have that moment to reflourish themselves and keep the intensity of the game a little bit higher is a benefit, because you want to see high intensity. You want the players to be full of energy. The last thing you want is the game to slow down, the intensity slow down. So if it keeps the intensity high when the ball is in play, more than welcome. I think one thing to mention, you mentioned Hemi there briefly, I think the ambition of the ownership group always puts the head coach in a, I wouldn't say a predicament, but you need to perform, because they're not investing in this infrastructure, in the depth of this roster, to not compete for championships. And right now they're sitting 10th in the USL Championship. That's not where they want to be with this level of investment and the players that they brought in. The Goodrum they brought in, Malloy they brought in, Epps they brought in. You know, you're dealing with a very ambitious ownership group who want to compete. They want to be up there with the best of the best. So the managers in that aspect do have a level of expectation on their head that this isn't a project that you're going to get 2 or 3 years to succeed in. This is a project where the investment in the structure and infrastructure has been put in to compete right now. And either you're able to execute on that, or as we see so much, the head coaches change fairly frequently.
Right now, to your point, Lexington in 10th in the Western Conference and USL Championship. It has to be said, though, everything is tight right now in the West. If they win their next game, they go to 18 points, and they're tied with 4th place Oakland Roots. So you go from 10th to 4th with just 1 win. First place San Antonio on 21 points. So Lexington just 2 wins out of first, while they're sitting all the way down in 10th.
You could say that at this phase of this season, these next 2 games are vitally important for where they continue to head. If they do not pick up the 3 points today, where do things look now for their advancements in this competition? As you mentioned, if they don't go and take advantage of their next league game and pick up the 3 points, you know, they're not really meeting the expectations that's being demanded. Of course, we know the only thing that matters is who finishes #1 at the end of the season, but you still expect a level of competency over the duration of the season, and the fans are going to expect that, and for sure you can see the ownership expect that. So, you know, I think it brings a warranted pressure for head coaches, because you want your ownership group to support you in bringing in the best players, to give you the best facilities and to give you the best chance of success. But when you get given all of those things, you have to be able to deliver. And maybe that's where the disconnect has been so far.
Sergei Demyanchuk in the face of Mohamed Omar. Giving him a stern warning there. The only card we've seen so far still Logan Neidlinger. A transitional foul. Malloy dropping between the center backs. Now it's Brown. Malloy. Ordonez, former defender of the year in USL Championship. This time with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and on to Louisville City. Foot race, Ordonez fronts off Kean Williams. Cutting in, Williams feeding it along. Sings touch, takes him into traffic. Williams keeps it alive. Gave it away. Adedokun swipes it.
Good tracking back there from Adedokun. Just picks the pockets, regains possession for his team, and initiates the attack.
Firmino. Underrated, I think, Nick Firmino in this midfield for Lexington. 2 goals, 2 assists this season. Pedigree of MLS with Atlanta, with New England. Standout in League One with Omaha, led them to a trophy in his year there.
If you look at where this attack starts, and this is where I think Indy can do a little bit better. Malloy drops, he's able to pick up the ball and face forward. In that situation, one of the forwards, they're already behind the ball. One of them can step to Malloy and just force him to play backwards. You know that he's a player who has the quality to play forward, to play the killer passes, to initiate the attack, to be the connector between the defense and the midfield. The job when he's facing, when his back is to goal, is to close him down and ensure that he plays backwards and he doesn't get the chance to face forward and hurt you.
Dropped in toward the back post. Reese Charles Cook has it. Pulls it out. And Indy looking to counter. It's been their MO today. Omar puts it right into Rendon's heel. He's still running, not realizing where that ball went. Does he get credit for a completed pass there, Rendon? It went right to Neidlinger. It's 2 big statistical questions for the scorekeeper today. Was it a shot or a cross earlier for Rendon, and does that count as a pass?
Maybe they put a slash in both. Shot cross shot.
And Okun table-topped. Under 10 to go plus stoppage in this first half, still scoreless. With Chris Nurse, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us on ESPN+. Prinx Tires USL Cup action on this Saturday evening. Lexington can control destiny in this group. They win their 2 games tonight, and then against Louisville, they are the winners of Group 4. They're into the quarterfinal. Indy need to win in regulation and then pray that a laundry list of other results go their way to fetch a wild card spot.
And he's just making it really difficult for Lexington to break them down with that 2 banks of 4. And they're staying disciplined and compact. Nobody's jumping and becoming impatient and giving them the weaknesses and giving up space, which is making it really challenging for Lexington. As we spoke about, best chances have been shots from distance because of that reason. You can see now it's almost like a back 6 almost with 2 in front.
Nobody's taken the initiative yet for Lexington to find a way through that block. Over the top, Dylan Singh. 2 goals in the regular season, Dylan Singh. 25-year-old from Michigan. Malloy wins it.
Singh did well to get up to the ball, but just took a little bit too much time for the rest of his teammates to get up and support him and end up turning over possession to Malloy.
It's the moments where it feels too slow from Lexington. They had numbers, they had space. Okun slowing it down. You had Firmino screaming for it, gesturing that he wanted it. And now it's out for a throw. Ferry. Adedokun. Back to Ferry on his preferred left foot. Gives it up to Malloy. A threat to have a hit from anywhere here on in. Malloy. Ferry. On the turn, Rodriguez has an option wide. Cuts in instead, Rodriguez lost it. Jacob Green had his palm stretched skyward, wondering why the ball didn't come his way. Now Indy countering through Rendon. Splits it through for Kean Williams. Kean Williams inside. Williams blocked.
It's good defending again on this right-hand side from Lexington, who actually had some good patient possession there on the edge of the box. Rodriguez's touch just got away from him as he tried to get the shot off. But they were being patient there. The midfielders have spoken about having that numerical advantage and dominating 3 versus 2. And then the counter-attack for Indy again, where they proved to be fairly dangerous, but again shut down on this right-hand side with some good defending.
Rashid. Rendon. He stayed out on that right flank in this one, Rendon, as opposed to camping out up top. That's where Dylan Singh has occupied the space. Look has shown some opportunities for Indy off the counter with Rendon's speed up and down that right side. I do wonder if he'll rotate centrally at some point. It's a more comfortable position.
Indy's formation deviates at times somewhere from a 4-5-1, and that's when you do see Rendon drift out to this right-hand side. And at times when they do have good possession of the ball, it's like he comes up as a second striker alongside Singh, and they drop into a 4-4-2. When they do drop into, or when they do switch formation into a 4-5-1, of course, that then neutralizes the midfield advantage that Lexington have with Malloy, Ferry, and Firmino operating in the central. Then they're able to kind of counteract that, having Omar, O'Brien, and Williams all around that central area also, and be man for man.
Corner coming for Indy. Haven't seen one at the other end for Lexington. This is Indy's second.
Both teams sitting at 3 shots so far in this game. Lexington registering 2 on target. That would be the shot that we saw from distance from Malloy. And obviously Ferry's shot they also had from distance being the 2 shots on target.
Mohamed Omar drops in the corner. Jacob Green is defending, so was Zenge. It was Zenge who rose to meet it. Cheers to local beer. West 6 Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Head to west6.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Epps had a lively start, quieter since then. Green. Epps. Highlighted him off the top for his 9 goal contributions in all competitions this year for Lexington. 3 goals, 6 assists. First 10-15 minutes looked like he would be a major factor. Since then, ball really hasn't found him in space. It's been a lot through the middle and a lot through this right side. Oken. Seen it at times from Lexington. They'll flip-flop the wingers if they want to get Epps more involved, if the game just happens to be being played more on the right side. Indy's left. Flip hasn't come yet. And Oken capable of coming out to the left, and Epps has shown more comfort at times on the right. For now, it stays as is. Here's Epps on the left. Rodriguez. He has that ability to unlock a defense on the dribble. Hasn't happened yet. Swung in, Firmino, great touch, Firmino!
It's a fantastic touch. It was always going to be something special that's going to unlock this Indy defense. You can see how they're doing a good job of frustrating Lexington by having so many players behind the ball. There's not much time and space. This is a fantastic touch from Firmino. The angle gets extremely tight, and you can understand why he doesn't hit the target from there, but just the innovation, the creativity to bring it down there in that situation is fantastic from Firmino.
There's Williams. Kello used his body well. Neidlinger. Rashid. Stepping on it, slowing it down a bit, Indy. Fans, visit lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC Team Store, your one-stop destination for all the latest LSC gear and official merchandise. Purchase kits, scarves, hats, and more to show off your club pride. That's lexsporting.com.
Territorial, would you class this as a derby territorial-wise?
Geographically, I suppose you have to say yes, because Indy and Louisville had always been a territorial derby. But then with Lexington and Louisville, that one takes precedence, and Indy is maybe in some ways felt like the forgotten third member of that group.
You always look at derbies, London derbies, or Manchester derbies, or Everton, Liverpool derbies. It always brings that extra level of intensity and passion from the fans and passion from the players, knowing what it means to compete against your rivals that are close in proximity.
I think, too, though, that this one hasn't been played enough. Through the years between Open Cup pairings and USL Cup pairings and the regular season, Louisville and Lexington have met very often, so there's been an ability to have bad blood. There's been players who have gone both ways between those teams. This one is only being played for the third time all time, so it hasn't really had enough time to fester, to grow, to develop any sort of hatred, at least not yet.
It'll be interesting to see if that picks up a little bit more in the second half when both teams know that they've got to go a little bit more after the game. So far, first half, a little passive, I'd say, from both. Lacking a little bit of intensity and urgency, but as we spoke about, the game cannot end in a tie, so one of these teams has to go after their go-ahead goal aggressively.
If we're tied after 90, straight to a shootout for a bonus point. Indy, if it ends up tied through 90, whether they win the shootout or not, they're probably done. Maybe not mathematically so just yet, but just about. They need to get to 8, and even then, the chance is slim. Lexington, they control things. If they win their last 2 games, they are through as the group winners. There is also a path where they don't win tonight, but just take care of business in that last game against Louisville in the head-to-head and win it. But that leaves the door open for Omaha elsewhere. And other teams elsewhere to best that mark of 8 or 9 points. Easiest path forward for Lexington. Win your 2 games, win the group. Starts here tonight. Maybe the last chance here off this corner in this first half. Comes all the way through without a touch. Goal kick.
$79 degrees here in Lexington tonight. Hot, muggy. There's been worse.
It's been a lot worse. I haven't looked at the forecast yet. I know there's a game tonight in Phoenix. There's a game tonight in Vegas. I would imagine that those are ticking toward the triple digits this time of year. So I think these guys could consider lucky that it's sub 80. Adedokun racing. Well read off his line. Reese Charles Cook.
Can hear the fans doing the countdown, but I don't think they realize once the ball's on the floor, it's in play. If it's in the goalkeeper's hands, then the countdown is obviously valid, but once it's on the floor, the ball's actually considered being in play.
It doesn't make the countdown probably any less annoying, though, for the goalkeeper if you hear it continually, whether it impacts the rules or not.
Yeah.
A good banter getting under the keeper's skin. Concern here, that challenge. Upward landing on the tail end of that for Javane Brown.
Just about the end of first half. Extra time. Be interested to see how both head coaches go in and adjust things for the second half, but 0-0 as we go into the break.
There is the whistle to end half number one. Lexington, Indy scoreless through 45 minutes. Opportunities for both. Lexington through the build-up, Indy through the counter. Game going to form as expected. Two teams who need the victory for their hopes here in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. We go to the break scoreless between Lexington and Indy. Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more.
Your heart beats around 100,000 times a day, racing blood and oxygen through 60,000 miles of vessels. But when Andy's heart failed, it was UK Healthcare that delivered him a new transplant in record time, so he could finally get back to taking it slow. It may seem like an ordinary afternoon, but Andy will be the first to tell you, ordinary is extraordinary. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Lexington Sporting Club isn't just a team, it's your club. That's why you need the LSC credit and debit cards only from Commonwealth Credit Union. With your LSC card, you get exclusive discounts on tickets, merch, and get to celebrate your club with every swipe or tap. Show your Lexington Sporting Club pride and gear up with the ultimate fan accessory, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Lexington, start your engines. It's match day. Genesis of Lexington is proud to partner with Lexington Sporting Club, delivering craftsmanship, performance, and premium experience on and off the field. From kickoff to final whistle, we're investing back in the community that fuels this club. Ready to make your next move? Step into class and experience luxury evolve at GenesisofLexington.com. Genesis of Lexington. Drive the difference.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise, the energy. 90 minutes where nothing else matters.
Into the box, Firmino sizzles the string.
It's the year of the horse, our year.
Oh, what a save by Sedley.
Be there when it happens.
At the break between Lexington and Indy, we're inching closer and closer to the final day of play in Prinx Tire's USL Cup. For a breakdown of how everything will work in terms of the standings in the quarterfinals, here's Dan Lucas.
When Hartford Athletics' Adrian Deespace scored in the 83rd minute against Rhode Island FC, it began a furious finish to the 2025 USL Cup group stage finales. Deespace's goal kept Hartford alive in the race to advance in the competition as a wild card. Less than 10 minutes later in Detroit, Matt Sheldon capped Detroit City's 3-0 win over Westchester SC, taking that wild card away from Hartford. Minutes later in Kentucky, Louisville City's Jake Morris scored twice in added time to defeat Lexington SC 2-1. Louisville was now the owner of the wild card, but not for long. Back in Pawtucket, Hartford outlasted Rhode Island in a penalty kick shootout. Hartford Athletic reclaimed the wild card spot that two other clubs held for mere minutes. So how did we get here? Well, after 4 group stage matches, Hartford Athletic and Louisville City were tied with 9 points. The first tiebreaker, total goals. Hartford scored 9, Louisville had 8. And that wild card spot launched Hartford's run to the USL Cup title. This year's Cup promises even more drama. 42 clubs in the USL Championship and League One will form 7 groups filled out by region. Each club will play 4 group matches, and when the dust settles, the 7 group winners will advance along with 1 wildcard team, not 2 wildcards like last year. The remaining 8 clubs will be drawn into 4 quarterfinal matches with 1 stipulation. The wildcard cannot be drawn against its group winner. The 4 quarterfinal winners will then be drawn for the semifinal round, with the 2 finalists drawn to determine the host for the Prinx Tires USL Cup final.
Prinx tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinx tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise, the energy. 90 minutes where nothing else matters.
Into the box, Firmino! Sizzles the string!
It's the year of the horse, our year.
Oh, what a save by Sedley!
Be there when it happens.
I think Idahoans have been clamoring for something that is theirs.
I feel a big sense of responsibility to do this right. You only get one first season.
For me, without soccer, it's like there's no air. Having it here, I feel like I can breathe again. Boise's never had anything like this.
Welcome back here in Lexington, where it is scoreless through 45 minutes of the Prinx Tires USL Cup between Lexington and Indy. Let's take a look around the USL and the Prinx Tires Cup with some news and notes.
Time in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. We'll get back out for the second half in just a bit. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Two clubs in action tonight made some noise last week in the championship. 5 of Detroit City's 6 goals against Sporting Jacks were scored by one player. Darren Smith put 5 of his 20 official touches into the net, becoming the first league player to reach 4 goals in a match in 13 years. Smith jumps to the top of the Golden Boot race with 11 goals on the season. And Lexington SC is closing in on the playoff line in the Western Conference thanks to a 2-0 win over first place San Antonio FC. That's back-to-back victories in league play and also marks the return of forward Braudilio Rodriguez from a loan with One Knoxville of League One. Rodriguez responded with a goal in his first match, continuing his form from One Knox, where he had 3 goals and an assist. We'll wind up with a clearer picture here in Group 4 tonight as more teams look to join the Colorado Springs Switchbacks and Tampa Bay Rowdies as group winners. Colorado locked up Group 2 in round 3 with a 2-1 win over El Paso Locomotive, while the Rowdies captured Group 7 with a win at Sporting Jacks. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship and League One: Colorado Springs and San Antonio on ESPN2, Spokane Velocity, Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network. The next day, AC Boise and One Knoxville on ESPN2. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
There's so much going on right now under the USL umbrella on this Saturday in Prinx Tires USL Cup. The only other match earlier on concluded also in this group. It was Louisville City winning it in the shootout over Detroit City, picking up 2 points, going to 8 points, currently topping the group. Lexington can get to that level with the victory. Indy can get there as well. A massive 3 points to play for when we return. Half number 2 between Lexington and Indy.
Lexington, start your engines. It's match day. Genesis of Lexington is proud to partner with Lexington Sporting Club, delivering craftsmanship, performance, and premium experience on and off the field. From kickoff to final whistle, we're investing back in the community that fuels this club. Ready to make your next move? Step into class and experience luxury evolve at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington. Drive the difference.
Hearing is a marvel most take for granted. Tiny bones and special cells turn sounds into signals the brain can understand. But Dewan needed a first-in-the-country cochlear implant from UK Healthcare to hear everything a teenager wants to hear.
Dewan, homework.
And everything they don't. It may sound like an ordinary school night, but just ask Dewan. Ordinary is extraordinary. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Lexington Sporting Club isn't just a team, it's your club. That's why you need the LSC credit and debit cards only from Commonwealth Credit Union. With your LSC card, you get exclusive discounts on tickets, merch, and get to celebrate your club with every swipe or tap. Show your Lexington Sporting Club pride and gear up with the ultimate fan accessory only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Lexington, start your engines. It's match day. Genesis of Lexington is proud to partner with Lexington Sporting Club, delivering craftsmanship, performance, and premium experience on and off the field. From kickoff to final whistle, we're investing back in the community that fuels this club. Ready to make your next move? Step into class and experience luxury evolve at genesisoflexington.com. Genesis of Lexington. Drive the difference.
Prinx Tires is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinx delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinxTireUSA.com to learn more. Highlights from that first half. Lexington on the side that controlled things and had the better of the chances, but a couple of big saves in there for Reece Charles Cook.
Yeah, we spoke about Malloy. It's a fantastic free kick around the wall, dipping under the crossbar. Cook has his eyes on it, clears it away from danger.
And for Indy, a lot of the opportunities just came off the counter. Rendon, was it a shot? Was it a cross? We'll never know, but no harm, no foul in the end.
Let the fans decide on that one.
He continued on with some of his counters as that half went on.
See Rendon using his speed and his pace to get in behind there, but he just runs out of gas. You can see he's a little bit fatigued when he gets there. Ends up being a fairly tame shot, well defended and blocked away from danger from Lexington.
Lexington really dominated the possession and the build-up phases of this game. And a lot of their crosses really didn't find anybody except for this one late in the half. The problem was accuracy on crosses and just not finding a way to break through. Indy, Firmino nearly did so there. Stats paint a pretty even picture for the first 45.
Yeah, Lexington do have the benefit in terms of possession, but as I mentioned, Indy 11 will be happy with the possession they have. It's been in areas where they haven't really been able to hurt them. The defense have done very well. They haven't been able to give up too many goal-scoring opportunities. If you really look at it, Indy 11 have had more shots than Lexington, although Lexington's shots have been on target. They've been the ones from distance, 20, 25 yards out that Cook has done a good job dealing with. But Lexington, on the other hand, 45 minutes and yet to register a shot on target. Whilst it may not look good statistically, they are a team that can steal a goal from a set piece or on the counter-attack. So they do know their strengths and their weaknesses. They're not going to dominate possession in this game, but they can have those moments in a transition where they score from a set piece or from a ball in behind and Rendon getting onto it. So it's going to be interesting as the game goes on. I think the dominance in possession for Lexington will become frustrating if they're not able to turn that possession into goals. And then out of that frustration, I think opportunities will start to open up for Indy.
Well, it won't be Rendon anymore. He was subbed at halftime. Loic Masanvi takes his spot down here on this right wing, wearing the number 90 for Indy as they go left to right in the red. Lexington right to left in the black and green. Just waiting for Sergei Damianchuk to send us on our way in this second half with Chris Nurse. I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us on ESPN+. Prinx Tire USL Cup action. Scoreless through 45 minutes. Lexington can control destiny with 2 wins. They win Group 4. Indy needs a win and loads of help to get through into the quarterfinals. And away we go in half number 2. Loic Masanvi Time in MLS Next Pro and MLS with Minnesota United. Coming over this year for Indy. See what he could bring to the table as the first one in off the bench for the visitors. Rendon had opportunities in that first half. He's been the leading man in the attack this year for Indy with 6 goals in 11 games in the regular season. Beyond just his scoring record in this competition. His day is done after 45 minutes. That is part of a larger theme for Indy and Sean McCauley. As much as he knows they're mathematically alive, there's a difference between what's mathematically possible and what's mathematically probable. So he may be conscious of getting certain key guys some rest as this game goes along. Rendon being the first to drop at halftime. You talked about it in the first half, Chris. You don't want to maybe overdo it and mess with the continuity for a team that's found some results and heading in the right direction. But there's a happy medium there where you can get them in there for a half for 60 minutes and then start making your rotations. And that's what we're seeing, it looks like.
Yeah, for Lexington, for sure, we spoke about them having the depths in the roster. For Indy, it's maybe a different objective, is where they feel that they can get stronger in this game, because there's different things at stake for each of this team. You see this replay here. Doesn't look like there's anything malicious, but maybe there's a little bit of contact in the ankle there, and he may have slightly rolled it, but not what you want to see 1 minute into the beginning of the second half for sure.
Dug out by Ferry in the midfield. Rodriguez.
I think this second half, I think, is a test for Lexington. Of course, we spoke about the investment, but now it's a...
Shouting for a handball. Demianchuk, the referee, says no.
Now it's a test of character to see if they have the ability to close out meaningful games. It's one thing winning games, but this is a game that we spoke about where they have the opportunities in their own hands. Can they take advantage of the situation? Can they get a grip of the situation and be able to close out meaningful games? Obviously, all top teams have the ability to close out their meaningful games, but they also have the ability to win games when they're not essentially performing well. So I think this is going to be the challenge for Lexington in the second half, to see if they have the character, the mentality, the leadership within the group on the field to be able to get the job done efficiently.
Lexington certainly have a wealth that they can tap into, especially in the attack in this second half. Malik Henry, Scott, Tariq Scott, Latif Blessing, Alfredo Medense. All players who could come in and impact this game with fresh sets of legs up top. Anadokun feeds it wide for Xavier Zenge. Quiet in that first half. Zenge didn't join the attack as often as he typically does. Ferry lifting one through, cleared away by Neidlinger. The only yellow card to remember from that first half is Neidlinger.
And I kind of touched on it a little bit at halftime. Indy 11, 45 minutes into the game, haven't had a shot on target. They're okay with that, because do you know what they've done on so many occasions? They found a way to win games ugly. Whether they play good or not, whether the opponent's dominating possession, they found a way to leave with a result. So for them, they're not overly concerned with, we didn't have a shot in the first half or the other team is dominating possession. Their concern is, can we find a game to win? Can we find a way to win the game? They're away from home, in front of Lexington's fans, in Lexington's home film. It's not necessarily let's go out here and entertain and put on a showcase for these fans. The emphasis is on, can we get 3 points here today? Or at least, there's only 3 points because you cannot even leave with a tie. So the emphasis is on, can we come to this stadium today against these opponents and pick up 3 points?
Brown. Epps feeds it along. Flag stays down. Firmino. Poor ball in from Firmino. And a foul committed by Jacob Green.
I think we'll really see the game open up in the last 30 minutes. You know, that's where you start to see more substitutions coming into the game. As we mentioned, Lexington is a fairly new club compared to the existence of some of the other teams in the league. And India's not lost this matchup so far, albeit they've only competed twice. This is the third time they've matched up. They have the experience, so it's going to be interesting to see an ambitious, newly organised club going into the last 30 minutes of this game versus more so of a veteran club who knows how to win ugly, who have that level of experience of being in this situation a number of times. It's really going to be interesting to see how this last 30 minutes will be approached.
There's a big interest from Lexington in going on and winning this cup, giving this fan base that first piece of hardware to celebrate. Epps trying to find his way through. He thought he was fouled, but it's out for a goal kick.
Epps had a lot of success in the first half, dribbling down the left-hand side, taking players on, drawing free kicks. And then they stopped giving it to him. And you wonder why, when it was such a successful route that they were using in their attacks in the first half, and then they kind of deviated away from that a little bit, and their attacking prowess essentially went down. It's going to be interesting whether they get back to that, because he was winning that 1v1 battle throughout a number of times in the first half.
Rashid. Malloy looking long. Not enough contact there for a foul. Adirokun was glancing at the referee, but still is looking that way, claiming that he was maybe forearmed or elbowed in the chin. Play continues. Malloy. Rodriguez. Again, Hooken goes down, looking for something. At some point, referee's onto you and knows the antics. Rodriguez. Worked through for Epps by Firmino. Good ball.
I think the first goal in the second half is going to be massive. It's going to allow that team then to dictate the tempo of play, the flow of game, the intensity. And obviously, if Lexington get that and they've been the dominant team in possession, that then poses a bigger problem for Indy. While it's still 0-0, they know in the counter-attack or set piece, they can still get that go-ahead goal. If Lexington control possession of the ball and then they're in the lead, then that challenge becomes a lot harder.
Adirokun puts in the ball, looking for Epps. Guided away by Neidlinger, out for a corner. First corner of the match for Lexington, presented by Commonwealth Credit Union.
I think Blessing, as long as he's fully fit, when he comes into the game, you know he poses a tremendous offensive threat. His ability to dribble with the ball into space, to attract opponents and free his teammates into space. He's a big, big option to come off the bench. As long as he's healthy and his mind is in the right place, he's a game changer.
Short from the corner. Epps feeds it around to Malloy. Aaron Malloy to the back post. Good ball again from Malloy. Put it right where you want it. Nobody there to meet it.
It's crazy that it's one thing a dead ball situation when he's taking a free kick.
Another one in, knotted down. Epps on the volley, near post. It's touched out for another Commonwealth Credit Union corner.
I think that may have been going out of play, even if the goalkeeper doesn't touch it. It looked like it was always the wrong side of the post, but starting to bang on the door a little bit more often now. Epps half volley. Looks like it was always going wide to me, but Cook was taking no chances.
It looked like it swerved late, though, especially from that proximity, not taking the chance, as you mentioned. See if Malloy could put in another strong service. Short again. Epps feeds it the other way this time to Ferry. Good idea, some misdirection, but it's out harmlessly for a goal kick. Lexington fans, the next home match is Wednesday, July 15th. Pups at the pitch. And it's also $1.50 beer night against New Mexico United. Be sure to purchase your ticket today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
In a matchup like this where neither team is really giving much away, set pieces become so dominant. You can't afford to switch off in those moments. You saw there, it almost ended up 3 versus 1. If the pass had been hit with a little bit more weighted and not gone out of play, it would have been a really dangerous situation. The situation before, Malloy receives the ball and he has so much time and space to pick his head up and deliver a dangerous pass. You wonder why Indy aren't doing a better job of closing him down and putting him under pressure and making it a little bit more difficult for him, because you know he's a player that has quality. So you don't want to leave him in time and space, because he will punish you and he will hurt you.
Neidlinger rolls it back. Paco Craig. Good touch. from the substitute, Loic Masanvi. His first impacts on this game, puts it right at Semle.
Some nice touches, but you'd really not expect Semle to get beat from that angle, from that distance. Some good one run a bitly. Maybe he tries to drive that across the face of goal, looking for one of his teammates rather than a strut straight into the goalkeeper's hands. But
Masanvi again taking it away from Jacob Green. Green deflected it to help win it back. Firmino does the rest.
Sembe's definitely brought something different to the game for Indy since he's come on. He didn't see players picking up the ball in 1v1 situations, trying to take players on and make things happen. He's very quickly identified him as somebody with that capability. Probably a big wasted opportunity there to whip in a dangerous cross. He tries to play a square pass and easily intercepted there for Lexington.
Space for Rodriguez, Epps to his left. Rodriguez tried to split it through for Epps. And now Charles Cook can end the threat.
I say both teams right now just look like they're lacking that creative midfielder with the killer pass. The opportunity's there, they're trying to find the spaces in between the defense, but nobody stepped up and showed they really have the ability to play that killer pass and break down the defense.
Firmino through Epps. Can he keep it in play? Yes. Now what?
The right idea there was probably still overhit a little bit, but you could see the intention was there on that occasion.
Malloy, quick give and go. Aaron Malloy thought about it. Works it through again. Malloy saved by Charles Cook.
Fantastic. That is fantastic play here from Malloy. On 2 occasions, he plays it, gets it back. When we get to see the replay, and this we spoke about, he's a connector, but also his ability to influence the attacking third. Finds the gap here through the legs. The connection between these two is fantastic. He follows his run, does well to adjust his feet and get the ball out and get the shot off. I think it's a little bit more accurate in the corners. Lexington find themselves one up with a moment of brilliance from Malloy, but you can see the intention, the quality is there.
Green blasts one on the ground, comes through, laid off. Ferry on his weaker foot, blocked. Ferry again saved by Charles Cook towards goal on the backspin, but out of play for another corner. It's livelier now from Lexington.
Lexington have had a number of really good chances in the past couple of minutes. And you start to get the feeling if they don't punish and take these chances, they could end up regretting it later on this evening. Brilliant chances here to put the ball into the back of the net at least. But Cook, I would say good saves, but they're kind of saves that you would expect him to make in those moments also.
Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Feels like it's coming for Lexington. The longer it goes, though, without finding a way through, the more the pressure builds.
I think you've already touched on it, that Louisville sit on 8 points. Whoever wins tonight would also join them on 8 points. So this isn't just another regular season game and there's nothing to play for. There's significant implications to whoever comes out tonight victorious, especially if they're able to get the full 3 points.
Short again this time from Lexington. Adedokan to Ferry. Ferry lays it off for Malloy. Back to Adedokan in some space. Adedokan cuts it back. Nifty move. Adedokan to the near post. Deflected and wide.
Adedokan had some of the fans off their seats there. They thought that one had deflected into the back of the net, but fortunate for Indy 11, it deflected away from goal. And again, another great opportunity. The pressure's just mounting and mounting and mounting now in favor of Lexington.
Short again. Adedokan. Can he get the fans on the feet this time and make it count? On the volley, Green. Blocked again.
Lexington definitely turned up the dial a little bit in terms of creating goal-scoring opportunities, but just not showing the quality to convert right now. But you would say second half, they've definitely come out and been the more dominant team out of the two. You wonder how long Indy 11 going to sit back and absorb pressure and just try to counter-attack, or are they going to try and to sustain longer spells of possession themselves and try to build their own offense?
Malloy stumbled it as he let it fly. It didn't really matter. Still put it right where it needed to be for Epps. Last off of Epps. Can he rescue it? No. Goal kick. A pair of changes coming for Indy. That'll be all for Dylan Singh and Kean Williams.
Exiting the match, number 10, Kean
Come
Williams.
Jack Blake and Charlie Sharp.
Also for Indy 11, entering the match, number 9, Charlie Sharp. Coming off
For a while, this team is gone as Jack Blake is gone, so that he could bring off the bench Neidlinger.
As we've spoken about, I think the biggest challenge for Lexington right now is turning this dominance they've had in chances created and possession into goals and into something meaningful. As we've seen a number of times, if you create chances, especially the number of chances they create, and you don't take them, the game can be very cruel. And you can end up leaving on the losing end despite having dominated possession, despite having created a number of goal-scoring chances.
Given away to Rodriguez. Brodilio Rodriguez saved again by Reese Charles Cook. Saving his back line after a miscue.
I'm a little bit torn here between if this is a good save or it's a poor strike on goal. I feel like in this situation we should see nothing more than the net bulging. If he drives through forward here, if he gets a good touch and he gets this side net in, okay, maybe the angle is a little bit difficult. It's just inside the 18-yard box. But I feel like maybe at least to lift that a little bit towards the far corner rather than going on the floor and giving a Cook a chance to save. Maybe a little bit more venom and conviction in his strike. But another good opportunity for Lexington that they've not taken.
Another Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. They had none in the first half. And now all of a sudden piling up for Lexington. They've gone the short route each time, with Malloy retrieving it from Anidoka. And this time he looks more poised to go direct. He does. Drops it in near post, flicked out of the back post. Is it a double touch off of a defender? No, it's a goal kick.
Great delivery from Malloy. Again, he just whips it and is curling towards goal. He's going inches wide of the upright. It's proven to be dangerous in a number of situations tonight. I feel like as time ticks on, as we get to the final 20 minutes, you're going to start to sense a little bit of desperation from both of these teams. Probably Indy in terms of hanging on, because the number of chances that they're giving up right now, they are definitely hanging on. But from Lexington, it's going to be a frustration of creating some of these chances and not taking advantage of them. And they could end up opening themselves up and allowing Indy to do what they're good at and catching them on the counter-attack.
Green.
I think what was pretty interesting is that, as we spoke about, Indy have played Lexington twice and not lost on both occasions, but they're still happy to allow Lexington to be dominant in possession and allow themselves to kind of sit back and look to counter-attack, which kind of gives you you're viewing yourself as the inferior team. Whether that's true or not, the results previously haven't shown that. But their performance tonight, or the way they've approached the games tonight, has been very much that they feel that they're the inferior team. They're going to sit back, absorb pressure, and then try to counter-attack.
Another Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Feels like Lexington has taken up a residency at these two corners in this second half, but nothing to show for it.
And I think we've definitely seen a change in approach. I think we've seen more action, goal action in the opening 20 minutes of this second half than we saw in the whole duration of the first half.
They go short this time. Anidoka darting to the end line. And they'll redo it. In this second half, 7 shots, 4 on target for Lexington. Now 7 corner kicks. That's just in 20 minutes. And they're calling over a look to be Latif Blessing. Corner taken short. Malloy to slide in to keep it alive. Ferry, Anidoka, Malloy. It's a sloppy effort from the corner, but something could still be on. Ferry. Giving ground here, Lexington. Malloy. Tell you what, for as good as Malloy is on the ball, probably one of the best, if not the best server on set pieces in the league, it numbs my mind that they go short on all these corners instead of just letting him drop it in. We saw that one time he went direct, he almost scored himself and took a double touch on the line and was out for a goal kick that should have been a corner. It was incorrectly called. And that corner turned into a pass all the way to midfield, and now here we are again. Makes no sense to me.
They try to confuse their opponents. I think they do a bit of both.
They're confusing themselves right now.
They have the ones where they go direct, and they have other options where they put 3 players around the ball and go short. I think they like to be unpredictable in their approach from set pieces.
That's all well and good in principle, but not when you have maybe the best server of the ball in all of USL Championship.
Efficiency, I would say, is probably going to be their best selection, but they've not proven to be efficient in getting the first contact on those balls when they're delivered into the box. Can always prove challenging.
As Ronberry slow and gingerly walking away. Looks like that sub is just about ready for Lexington. Latif Blessing set to check in and impact this game off the bench, but not yet though. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Lil Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions are now live. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth.
I think the longer this game actually stays 0-0, it plays in favor of Indy. They know that they're just looking for that one chance, and they know that as the game ticks on and is 0-0, that they'll grow stronger in their belief that that moment is going to come. Whether they have the ability to take it and finish the play is different, but I think it grows into their confidence and their identity of what they believe they're strong at doing.
When that change comes for Lexington, we're told it'll be Latif Blessing for Blaine Ferry. Not like for like. Curious how that moves some pieces around the board. I think we have a pickle juice bottle on the field. That's what Noble Okello was trying to throw off, cramping.
The summer hydration trick. Not Powerade, pickle juice. He said it right. It wasn't Powerade, it's pickle juice.
Blake from the free kick, knotted down. A lot of bodies there for Indy, but cleared away.
Composure there from Cook. I was anticipating him just smashing it as far as he could. Controls it, takes a pass, finds his teammate, but they lose possession again, and
Hanedoken keeps it in play, or did he? No, it's just over the line. Oh, the Lexington bench is up in arms about this. Akemi, Jordan Stewart.
Not impressed with the referee's decision whatsoever here, and probably could find themselves in the book if they don't take it easy. I mean, they were in a pretty good position to see it also, but and there's not really any need for the pass to be that close to the line in the first place. It could have been a little bit more into space, and he has no question marks about it at all.
Here's that change. Latif Blessing for Blaine Ferry. Brings the jump in the attack. Latif Blessing hasn't had a goal or an assist in the regular season this year. Debuted last September for Lexington. Injuries have made it stop-start his ability to impact games. A player who had 5 goals back in 2024 with Houston in MLS and has 22 goals, 26 assists in his MLS career. Akemi did pick up a yellow card over on the bench for Lexington for arguing a moment ago. Yellow card brought to you by Hicks and Funfson. Malloy.
We're at that phase of the game where the players coming in from the bench do have a big impact, and we spoke about Blessing, and 20 minutes remaining in the game, he is a player that can make the difference. He can drive, he can attract pressure, he can score goals. As you mentioned, he is coming back from some injuries, and he does look like he may not be in his best physical condition, but he still has the quality and the ability to cause danger and change the game.
Rodriguez chipping it through. Firmino will pick up a yellow. Another yellow brought to you by Hicks and Fumpson. First for a player out there for Lexington after Firmino just saw his coach pick one up. Still just Logan Neidlinger on the other side with a yellow for Indy.
Whilst Indy does have the dominance, I would say that this game is on a knife edge. Just one counter-attack.
Epps for Rodriguez, hoping this is the moment, but no. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Through the wickets from Musanvi. Pass screen. Loic Musanvi. Malloy puts a good foot in and draws the foul.
Musanvi's done well. We spoke about his 1v1 ability, but it's been lacking in product. There's been 2 or 3 times now where he's done well. He's been productive. He's gone forward in terms of beating his man. But when it's come to the shot or the final pass or connecting after he's got to the final third, he's not quite been able to provide that end product that makes the difference. But he's definitely been a threat coming onto the game.
Firmino. Seems he's been the one to drop in deeper to that Blaine Ferry role for the addition of Latif Blessing into this game.
I think a statement from Lexington is of how serious that they're taking this is that normally around this time we're approaching 4 or 5 substitutions. Teams are generally trying to switch things up a little bit. They've only made 1 substitution, which seems that they want the continuity, they want the chemistry, they want the cohesion in the group to be the driver of the success. They don't want to make a number of changes and things to become a little bit chaotic while everybody adjusts to that. They want the stability in the team to be the success of the team. So it's interesting to see that they haven't gone that approach of putting 5 fresh legs onto the field. Yeah, of course, still almost probably 20 minutes, including stoppage time to go, but we're normally accustomed to seeing a lot more changes at this point in the game already. There you can see where Indy have almost dropped into that 5-4-1 formation. Just creating 1 line of 4, 1 line of 5, and making it really hard for Lexington to break them down. They're having to move it side to side, but they need to move it side to side quicker because you can see the spaces aren't there unless they move the ball quickly.
Firmino. Malloy. Took a deflection on the ball in. And it drifts out for a throw.
And as we spoke about, yes, Lexington do have the ball, but Indy 11 don't look like they're panicking at all. They look like they're defending well. They're confident what they're doing. They've been in this situation many times, and they know that they're just 1 counter-attack away from stealing the result tonight. Or stealing the right word? I don't know if stealing is the right word, but
I think it'd be stealing. They haven't done much in the second half.
If it's in line with their game plan, which they consistently perform in this way, I'm not sure if we can say stealing. I could say that they execute their game plan of what they planned to do. They knew that they were going to go long spells of possession without the ball. They knew their setup. They knew what their objective was.
Rodriguez from a long way out.
And if they do go on to get the win, it was a byproduct of them following their game plan. I don't know if stealing is the right word. For the neutral, or maybe for us who are watching the game and seeing the number of chances created and the possession dominance for Lexington, maybe we could describe it like that. But I think Indy 11 on there maybe would not describe it in that manner.
Malik Henry Scott replaces Brodilio Rodriguez. Opportunities were there for Rodriguez in this one. See what Malik Henry Scott can do. Second year with the club. He signed last year ahead of the season, but he spent the whole season on loan to Huntsville in MLS Next Pro. This year, his first year, getting time with the group. Misanvi. Blake.
Probably forcing the pass there. It was actually becoming the first spell where Indy 11 had kept possession of the ball and hit 7 or 8 passes together, and then he kind of forces a pass forward that wasn't really necessary and wasn't on, and turns over possession.
Hometown fans, why go far when the best day is right here at home? Embassy Suites Lexington Green is your go-to spot for a weekend staycation, a night out, hosting meetings and events for out-of-town friends, local, loyal, and always game day ready. Keeping you updated on the USL as it takes the world. We have a few players on Haiti's side. We also have a couple of players out there for Curacao. Eloy Room so far pitching a shutout against Ecuador. He has 6 saves, excuse me, in the first half in goal for Curacao. Blake hasn't really had much of the ball, Blake, but you can see in these brief pockets when he picks it up, he can impact things. He can help Indy, we won't say steal to your point, we'll say execute their game plan and pick up the win late. The yellow card shown to Xavier Zenge. Yellow brought to you by Hicks and Funston.
I thought it was a strong tackle, but I thought it was a clean tackle. I thought he got a lot of the ball here. You can see, I think he times it well. I guess today's climate, we have to call that as a foul. 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, you say good tackle. Right now, you'd say, okay, maybe excessive force, as the referees like to label things.
Set piece could be the way to do it for Indy. Dropped in, bodies are there. Traffic in front, Misanvi tees it up. That's one he'd like back.
I think we heard that sound. I think that is an accurate sound at that point in the game. We spoke about Misanvi finding himself in good positions, creating good opportunities. And this ball bounces to the edge of the box, and we spoke about them being a counter-attacking team, or a team that punishes from set pieces. And the opportunity presented itself. The ball's bouncing on the edge of the box. Misanvi has to get a clean, strong connection on target, and that could be the moment that Indy 11 are looking for to get the go-ahead goal. He half volley slices it, and it ends up being nothing. I think if there's one aspect that he needs to add to his game, is the end product, the final pass, the final shot. You know, how can you become that clutch player in those moments?
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Green. Firmino. Brown. Zemle has had nothing to do in this game. He's yet to face a shot on target. 7 shots for Indy. 5 of those 7 have actually come from inside the box, so they're getting to the areas, but none of them have been on target. Remember, at the end of 90, if we're tied, we go to a shootout. Teams will play for the extra point in that shootout. 2 more changes now on the side of Lexington. That'll be all for Michael Adedokan, replaced by Alfredo Medense. And it will be Xavier Zenge off and Joe Hafferty on.
Also for Lexington SC, Checking in, number 22, Joe Rafferty. Exiting the picture, 12 years, second game.
4 changes now used by Lexington, 10 to go. As it stands, if they were to go to a shootout and win that shootout, they'd be that same situation as if they were to just win this game. A win over Louisville would win them the group on the last day on July 11th. So whether they win this in regulation or the shootout, not much changes. Driven ball across, losing would change things for Lexington. Blake wins it, slots it through. Sharp lays it off. Okello lines it up. Okello pulls it wide. Trombone guy is on one tonight.
He's making me laugh. Good build-up play, though. Indy now starting to create their own attacks going into the last 10 minutes of this game. As you spoke about, Semele's had not much action. A couple of shots going wide of target. But they've actually started to create a couple of opportunities now as the game's opened up.
Malloy. Split through in the vicinity of Malik Henry Scott, but out of play. West 6 Brewing is a proud partner of the Lexington Sporting Club. Enjoy a Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC, at all home games or at your favorite retailers around Lexington. Alejandro Mitrano will replace Heshron Berry. Henry Scott, Ordonez.
Approaching the last 8 to 10 minutes of regulation time. You know, the conversation is no longer about who's playing better. It's about who can efficiently get the job done now. You're in the stage where it doesn't matter how well you played now. And now it's about whether you have the minerals or the resolve to get the result. It's interesting because you'd expect at this phase of the game that both teams would be looking to pressure a little bit more consistently to try and win that ball back and create goal-scoring opportunities. But both are still pretty content to play in their mid-block and at times Indy in a low block.
Driven across from Epps, laid off. And Ensei trying to make something happen. Sergei Demyanchuk waves play on, and it's split through between Firmino and Epps. Stepping up to win it back is Brown. Now it's Epps. Blessing calling for it on the turn. Latif Blessing. Aaron Malloy. And a free kick right in Malloy's prime territory.
Yeah, I think this starts from Masambi giving away possession needlessly. He turns, dinks the ball over, trying to beat a man, loses possession of the ball, and then his reaction to drop back in and win it back was not great. Now they've given away a free kick on the edge of the box to Malloy, who we've spoken about how his services and his deliveries from dead ball situations have been dangerous all night. Now he has a great opportunity here from around 24 yards from goal.
Not just his deliveries, also his ball striking. He's potted a couple of these, more than a couple of these in his career in USL. Concerned look from Maurice Charles Cook, intense as he tries to set the wall. 4 standing in the wall right now. Just building the drama. What a way this would be to win it. Aaron Malloy through the wall. It's just wide.
It's not bad at all, but you can see Malloy by his standards is not happy with himself. He felt like should have hit the target there and forced a save out of the goalkeeper. But again, it's a needless opportunity. because it didn't need to get that situation. Masambi just needs to be a little bit more responsible in possession of the ball. If you're going to go and take players on, do it. If it doesn't work out, you've got to be one of the ones to get back and track back and try to win back that ball and not leave your defense vulnerable.
Blessing through, further along. Scott, oh, he's taken out at the last moment by Paco Craig's tackle, and it's off of Willie Henry Scott for a goal kick.
Brilliant defending there from Craig. Just stayed with the danger, tracks the runner and times his interception and his tackle to perfection. You can see here, played in behind, and it's a good touch. It's an exceptional tackle there from Paco Craig.
USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Colosso Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
For Lexington, I think the questions you're asking at this stage is, can they turn the control that they've had in this game into goals? You're at home, you're in front of your home fans. The expectation is a little different than when you're away from home and when you've dominated a game. You know, questions will be asked, why weren't they able to convert those chances? Is it the quality in front of goal? Is it the service in front of goal?
Masambi.
Similar story since Masambi's. You know, there's good moments, good driving, good areas, but just lacking the quality for the final pass. The good thing is that he keeps creating those moments. He keeps creating those opportunities. But both teams are a little bit guilty of just turning over possession needlessly, both teams right now. And this is the moments when they're fatigued, when it becomes harder to make those long transition runs. So they probably need to be, I wouldn't say conservative, because you do need to take risks to win the game. But they need to be a little bit smarter of how they're set up defensively when they do give away possessions in the attacking third, because as we spoke about, counter-attacks and set pieces are probably the two ways that will make the difference in this game.
Mikel Rashid picks up the Hickson Funston yellow card. It was a very ambitious effort, but it takes a deflection and it goes out for a Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. 88th minute. Lexington still pushing for a winner. Another effort from the corner, direct this time. The header's loose in front. Kept alive for Latif Blessing. Blessing. Header goes away from goal, and Blake flicks it away further.
More like a defensive header than an offensive header there from Lexington. They're sustaining possession here.
Hafferty. 90 seconds remaining in the 90 minutes, plus whatever stoppage time has in store. If tied, we go to penalties for that bonus point. It would effectively eliminate Indy if they don't pick up all 3 points. 2 points doesn't really help them. A long way out. Only troubles the members of the crowd. Lexington, again, 3 points would be ideal. 2 points puts them in that same boat of having to beat Louisville on the last day. It just opens the door for Omaha a smidge if this is 2 points instead of 3, depending on what happens elsewhere.
This is where experience really makes the difference in these dying phases of the game. Either you have the leadership on the pitch to be able to close it out, shut things down, stay organized and disciplined. Also the experience of knowing how to close a game out or how to go and get that go-ahead goal in the dying phases.
Blessing gives it up. Firmino, now Epps. Epps. Here's Malloy, stinging one. Redirected by Blessing, who was off balance. It's out of play. He might have been offside anyway.
Yeah, Malloy's imperfect strike here almost turned into the perfect assist. Have Blessing able to open his hips and use his instep here to guide this on frame. I think that's the moment, but I think he may, as you mentioned, he was probably in an offside position anyhow, but Malloy would like that opportunity back. Didn't quite connect and strike as cleanly as he would have liked.
3 minutes of stoppage time. That's all that's separating us now from a shootout.
Mentality becomes so key at this phase of the game. It's not so much the physical fatigue also, but like switching off mentally can be the lapse that causes difference at this phase of the game.
Fine, Masanvi. I think we're in the territory now where we can use the word steal for Indy. Can they steal this late? Floated forward. Masanvi camped under it, as is Firmino. Now Malloy looking upfield. Aaron Malloy splitting it through. It's just lacked pace and ferocity in the attack tonight for Lexington. Medense, step over, cuts in. Medense going for goal. Oh, it's saved by Charles Cook. Brilliant strike, better save, still scoreless.
It's the second one from Medense. The first time he cut in from the left-hand side here, shot went wide and over, but this one is on frame, and it's a fantastic save from Cook to keep the goals, to keep the scoreline level. You can see step over, slows his defender down, cuts inside, gets half a yard of space, unleashes an absolute rocket towards the top corner. Cook does well to adjust his feet, get across and tip it over the crossbar.
From the corner, dealt with by Indy. Masanvi wants to break out, but he has nobody running with him. Now Sharp trying to join the attack. It's turning into a 3v3. He was looking for Sharp. Vital touch on it defensively. Now it's back the other way for Blessing.
Masanvi again with the, I wouldn't say turnover, but just lacking the quality in the final action.
Firmino. Blessing is onside. Latif Blessing. Here's Marcus Epps cutting. Nowhere to go with it. Epps still trying to find some sliver of space. Working for it, brought down, play on. Malloy.
Fantastic defending there, patient. He could have dived in, he could have given away a free kick. He could have dived in and got beaten.
And behind, flag stays down. Medense cuts it back, comes all the way through for Latif. Blessing blocked. Malloy settling. Malloy on the volley off the post. Charles Cook might have gotten a piece of it. That's what Sergei Demyanchuk is indicating. He is changing his call, though, to a goal kick, and that might end it.
You could say Lexington, how have they not scored with the number of chances they've had, but you have to give Indy 11 credit for how they've defended. They're getting so many bodies in front of the ball, blocking shots, numbers behind the ball, making it so difficult for Lexington to put the ball in the back of the net. Malloy, we've spoken about his ability to link the defense to the midfield and sit in a number 6 position, but he's been pivotal to everything from an offensive standpoint also on both sides of the ball. It's been fantastic, but I think it's been great from both teams. Lexington dominating possession, creating opportunities, but Indy 11, you have to give them credit also for how they've defended in this game and gone about executing their game plan.
And there's the whistle to end regulation. We'll decide who picks up a bonus second point in the shootout. Mathematically, it doesn't quite eliminate Indy, but it just about erases their hopes. They needed the win in the 90 minutes. They didn't get it. Lexington would do well to pick up that extra point as they're still very much alive to top Group 4. When we return, a shootout between Lexington and Indy.
This isn't just a soccer match. It's a movement that brings the city together, brings it to its feet. The noise,
Malloy.
the energy. 90 minutes where nothing else matters.
Into the box, Firmino sizzles the strings.
The year of the horse, our year.
Oh, what a save by Sedley.
Be there when it happens.
It takes dozens of muscles to pinch your fingertips, countless neurons firing right on cue. But when a car accident left Allison paralyzed, it took a rare procedure by a UK healthcare expert to restore those lost motor skills so she could care for herself again, and for others too. It may look like an ordinary bracelet, but Allison knows ordinary is extraordinary. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
Lexington Sporting Club isn't just a team, it's your club. That's why you need the LSC credit and debit cards only from Commonwealth Credit Union. With your LSC card, you get exclusive discounts on tickets, merch, and get to celebrate your club with every swipe or tap. Show your Lexington Sporting Club pride and gear up with the ultimate fan accessory only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
To a shootout we go. Both these teams have already won one shootout each in this year's Prinx Tires USL Cup. Lexington will need the extra point to put them in a better position, maybe create some separation against Union Omaha as they're trying to track down Louisville. Indy, for the most part, done because they didn't pick up the 3 points in regulation. Here's how we got to this 0-0 draw.
This is a half volley here from Epps. I thought it was always going wide of the post. Cook took no chances, tips it away. But it wasn't a bad effort, and this is where the pressure started to build up in favor of Lexington here.
Lexington, plenty of opportunities in that second half to have found the victory. In the end, they took 14 shots with 5 on target. Really, Rodriguez off to give away, nearly did it here, but Reese Charles Cook made 5 big saves in that second half. This one of them.
Before this was another opportunity, Rodriguez probably should have done better out. A little bit higher into the side net, thinking gives the team the go-ahead goal, but unable to connect to it quite as you would have liked. And here the pressure was mounting. A number of chances here for Lexington, and Malloy control on the thigh, volleys off the upright and out of play. Fantastic skill there from Malloy. He was really good tonight, again.
That's become the norm for Aaron Malloy. Now it's up to the goalkeepers. However, Zemla didn't really have anything to do tonight. He had to come out and retrieve a couple of crosses. He had no saves to make, no shots on target in the 90 minutes for Indy 11. Reese Charles Cook, active night, few big saves. Veteran 32-year-old from England, capped 11 times for Grenada. Oliver Zemla, the 28-year-old from Germany.
You wonder who that plays into the favor of. Semble, who didn't really have to make too many saves and wasn't as active, and Cook, that was very sharp, had to be focused, made a number of saves throughout the course of the 90 minutes. Wonder if that activity that Cook had to face puts him in a better position mentally and psychologically going into this penalty kick shootout.
And the mind games start as well. Blake was ready, ball on the spot. Semble off to the side, fixing his shin guard, now in between his sticks as he eyes up the veteran Jack Blake. Starting off the shootout for Indy, but Sergei Demianchuk doesn't like where the ball is positioned.
Lexington will regret not finishing the job in regulation time. Now they have a little more random situation.
Blake starts us off. Semble starts it off with a save.
It's a fantastic save here from Semble at full stretch into the lower right-hand corner, tips it out of play, gives Lexington the upper hand off the first penalty kick.
They didn't have to make a single save in the 90. Made up for lost time, made the first one of the shootout, and now Aaron Malloy, the captain and the best player this evening, and really for the last few months since he's been here, best player for Lexington, stepping up to the spot. At the supporters' end for Lexington, Aaron Malloy scores. Advantage, home side.
You'd expect nothing different from Malloy. 90 minutes couldn't separate these two teams. Now it's come down to nerve, execution, and who can handle the pressure. And Malloy is definitely the guy who can do all of those three things. Picks his corner with accuracy into the side net and gives Cook no chance.
Good crowd on hand this evening for Lexington. This crowd knows what it means to pick up that second point. A few weeks from now, July 11th. That's the day that'll decide it between Lexington and Louisville. Here is Josh O'Brien. Confident from the center back.
Good finish here from O'Brien. Sends Semble the wrong way. You can see he's just calm and composed when he steps up to take this PK. Manages the nerves well, connects nicely. Keeps his team in the game so far.
Still down after their miss in the opening frame. Lexington, if they hold up their end of the bargain, will be fine. Carrying this the rest of the way through. Konomadense will step up next. Had a couple of good looks after he came on as a sub. Was robbed of a brilliant goal from Race Charles Cook. Alfredo Medense, he doesn't get robbed by the keeper this time. There was nothing Charles Cook could do about this one.
See, Medense has some quality in that left foot. From the shots that he took during the course of the game when he was cutting in and trying to beat the keeper from distance to this penalty kick. Once he decides where he's putting it, there's no holding back. Great strike, great finish. Lexington has started the penalty shootout well. They put away the frustration and the missed chances from the game. A big save from Semley and some good penalty kicks have got them having the upper hand right now up against Indy 11.
Mohamed Omar steps up now. He's one of those players who benefited from tonight. Got the start with some rotation for Indy. They weren't totally out of it, but likely it was an uphill battle. So he gets the start. Only 31 minutes in the regular season. Now he has a chance to impress his manager from the spot. Mohamed Omar, calm, cool, collected.
Another composed penalty kick. You see, just takes his time, doesn't break his stride, sends Semley the wrong way. Confidence in his penalty kick.
Advantage still Lexington, but Indy has done well in response after having the first one saved. Arturo Ordonez back to himself, it seems, in 2026 after injuries really hampered his 2025. USL Defender of the Year in 2023. Sergei Demyanchuk has been very particular about which blade of grass the ball is placed on here in this shootout. Ordonez, quick run up, makes no mistake. That's a center back right there. No hesitation, no wasted motion, and he scores.
Right down the middle. Decisive. Of course, both teams currently have 1 point as they tied in regulation. Whoever wins the penalty kick contest will get an additional point. So neither of these teams will jump up in par with Louisville tonight, but they will jump up onto 7 points, whoever has managed to be victorious at the end of this penalty kick shootout.
And important for Lexington to do so. Again, Indy isn't quite mathematically done officially yet. It's a .000 something chance that they have any pathway through now. So it would still behoove them to win this shootout, but it won't really amount to anything in the end. Lexington, by picking up this 2nd point, will move into 2nd place above Union Omaha on 7 points, and it'll still likely come down to that last day when Lexington faces Louisville. So it's more important this shootout for Lexington, who have the upper hand. Alejandro Mitrano. Mitrano just sneaks it in past Semley, who gets correctly again.
We saw Semley save the first penalty kick in the same corner, but this just had a little bit more accuracy to it. So he bends it away from the goalkeeper into the side netting, which is a little bit different to the one that Semley saved earlier. He goes the right way, he's at full stretch, but the accuracy was that pinpoint that he was still unable to get close to the ball.
It'll be Marcus Epps who steps up. If he scores, it puts Lexington on the brink. They'll have 2 opportunities in the 5th frame, be it through a miss by Indy or a goal of their own. They're perfect so far. It's up to Epps to keep it that way. He was very active with chances early on in this game and lost a little bit second half. Here's Epps. Couldn't doubt him. Not the way he's been playing this season for Lexington. And the home side are on the brink.
Starts with a very straight run up here, Epps, which makes it difficult to dictate which side he's going to go. Does a good job here sending the Cook the wrong direction. Lexington definitely in a strong position going into the final round of PKs.
Up steps the substitute, Charlie Sharp. Really didn't find any of this game after he came on late. The ball didn't find him. Lexington controlled everything. Must score to keep this going. Charlie Sharp rolls it down the middle. So Lexington will have to score and go 5 for 5 if you want to end this in 5 frames.
No nonsense PK there from Sharp. Steps up, knows where he's going to put it, doesn't second guess himself. Semley going the opposite direction to where he's got close to the ball on 2 occasions, where he made the save and where he also got close to the last one.
So Joe Hafferty has handed the ball. Subbed on late in this game. Scored Lexington's first ever USL Championship goal at the beginning of last season.
Decisive moment.
Joe Hafferty saved, and it just stayed out. It rolled under Reese Charles Cook could have kept rolling over the line. He looked back and he grabbed it. So we go to sudden death.
Absolute lifeline for Indy 11. You thought that Lexington had just sealed off the job. They didn't get it done in regulation time. They got the go-ahead by the first PK getting saved by Semble and giving them the upper hand. And then on the last one, the decisive moment, Cook's come up with a massive save. A massive save, but it wasn't the best PK that we've seen out of the 9 we've seen taken so far. And now, as you mentioned, we go into sudden death. It can go either way once again.
Bookended the first 5 frames. The first penalty from Indy was saved. The last penalty from Lexington was saved. Paco Craig, quick run-up, buries it. Now the pressure on Lexington to score to stay alive.
Pressure, frustration. There's a lot at stake now at this next PK, and as we just spoke about, if they'd have won 7 points, if they don't go up to 7 points, that makes the trajectory of advancing look even more complex going into that last game.
If they don't get to 7, they're officially mathematically eliminated, Indy. If they get to 7, it is still an absolute long shot. But you have to be in it to win it, and they would briefly stay in it and get up to 2nd place in the group. The best 2nd place team advances as the wild card. Firmino, deep breath, trying to keep this alive. Quick run up, Firmino. Upper 90. He didn't guess the right way, Reese Charles Cook. Even if he had, there was nothing he could do about that.
Not getting in close to it. Up into the upper 90 like an arrow. No diversion in that ball. Clean. It's risky. It's a risky PK, but when you're able to deliver it with that level of accuracy and confidence, it's no use second guessing yourself. Fantastic PK there from Firmino.
Well, you're starting to get into the players who maybe are second guessing themselves, though. The players who weren't part of the first 5, who maybe didn't expect to take a penalty,
you don't have
now
the
have to.
The players that don't really want to take, that don't really have the confidence, maybe lacking a little bit of technique and success in practice in this circumstance. Now it is a little Russian roulette.
Logan Neidlinger, the next to step up, a member of the back line for Indy. Picked up an early yellow, then held his own defensively the rest of the way. Neidlinger hesitates and scores. They haven't missed since the opening penalty. Perfect ever since.
Not a bad PK there from Neidlinger. What he does is he goes quickly, then he kind of slows himself down and wait for the keeper to freeze and then picks his corner. It's a nice PK from Neidlinger there.
Jacob Green is next.
We are in those numbers where the players that they're taking now do lack that little bit of PK confidence, I like to call it. The ones who snatch the ball and say, give me that, I'm going to score it. Now we're into the ones that say, okay, I'll have a go.
The longer it goes, the less of an option you have. Must score to stay alive. Jacob Green does just that. Almost had it. Reese Charles Cook, he dragged that back leg as Green went down the middle.
You can see Charles Cook a little frustrated himself there. Read it wrong, the ball straight down the middle there, and not too much venom, not too much height. There's a good area there for the goalkeeper to deal with it, and maybe the trailing leg wasn't far away whatsoever.
So another center back now steps up, Mikel Rashid. And the longer we go, further down the list of players you'd like to take a penalty we go. Semble is looking over at his bench for any sort of guidance here. I don't know if he prepared for a Mikel Rashid penalty if we got here tonight. And Sergei Demianchuk still making sure it's on the proper marking.
Of course, with all the resources available, staff do their scouting reports on where players will go in certain penalty kick situations.
Thinking about it, Rashid, the whistle already blew. Maybe a second thought here. Mikel Rashid, well, he smashed it with that second thought.
I think he didn't take the PK like a centre back. Normally centre backs, they run up to and smash as hard as they can. There's a composure, clinical accuracy. Nice PK, nice.
In this 8th round, Lexington for the 3rd time now have to score to stay alive after they had a chance in the 5th round to score to win. Latif Blessing steps up.
Came into the game late, and as you can see, he's carrying some kind of injury that you can see from the bandaging around his left knee.
From a pedigree standpoint and a quality standpoint, you would have maybe pegged him to be one of the first 5. Instead, here he is in the 8th round. What does that mean? Latif Blessing, poor penalty, saved by Reese Charles Cook, and Indy steal the bonus point. It's a very dim glimmer of hope still in Prinx Tires USL Cup, but it exists as they outlast Lexington.
For Indy, it's a textbook road performance. They're on the road in Lexington and they come away with 2 points. They showed their organization, their discipline, their resilience to come through against this. They bent, but they never broke, and they were rewarded in the shootout. Can we say they stole the point?
I think so. I think we can say it now.
Well, Blessing, that last PK, you could say he gave them the point. Look,
fair.
See this again? Come on. We question, given his pedigree, why he was so deep from the depth roster.
Might have gotten our answer.
We'll have a little bit more conviction in that effort. I think he's frustrated. I don't know. That's hard to explain that.
So Indy end up taking the bonus point. Difficult in the end for Latif Blessing.
Yo, I'll let you elaborate on what this means for Lexington, because we spoke about the investment, we spoke about the expectations and the ambition, and they're one step further away now from lifting any silverware in this competition.
I don't mean to fence it on your question here, but it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot as we take a look at the updated Group 4 standings, because the last game, July 11th, they go head-to-head against Louisville City. If they win that game, they're still probably winning this group. So it all depends on that. Indy 11 with the tie tonight, and then the bonus point in the shootout. They give themselves some level of hope going forward into the last day of play. But it's up to Lexington. If they could beat Louisville, and that's a win that could really change the tides against their rival, Chris.
Yeah, I think Louisville have been a strong opponent. That's going to be a really good game.
Well, that does it tonight. It finished 0-0 through the 90 minutes. Into the shootout we went, and it was a marathon of a shootout with Indy outlasting Lexington and taking the bonus second point. Our broadcast partner, Chris Nurse, and the crew that makes this possible, I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. Make sure you check back for Prinx Tires USL Cup action week in, week out, all culminating on July 11th with the final day of group play in the Prinx Tires USL Cup. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.